was this morning. All the days of my life I praise you. Lord, I say for your love I'm grateful. All the days of my life I praise you. Lord, I say for your love I'm grateful. Say Jehovah, Jehovah, I am good. I can provide. I search the Lion of Judah. One more time. Say Jehovah, Jehovah, I am good. I can provide. I search around. Lion of Judah. Oh, yeah. Logic Nation. My ears have seen, my ears have heard, my mouth will. Two more times, you sound so good. My eyes have seen, my ears have heard, my mouth will talk. My ears have seen. In the gallery, can I hear you loud? Everybody say my ears have seen, my ears have heard, my mouth will talk, 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 talk. Handkerchief in the air. Wave your handkerchief in the air. We say no way, no way. Okana makiri masera no way, no way. Okana makiri masera no way. Aiba no way.
Welcome, guys. Welcome, guys. Not too now. Not too now. How you day? Good to see you. Welcome back. All right, we have a show today. Everybody, welcome, welcome, welcome. Good to see you. We're live, coming to you live on my Empire Pro Studios. Yes. We have another show lined up for you today. I hope you all are doing well. All right. Okay, audio seems to be good. Visual seems to be good. We're going to get right into the game. But Leonard, too, good to see you. Let's see. What do we have today? We have a show lined up today. We're going to talk about Jerry Eze. We're going to talk about a successful businessman who is not getting the kwekus and is complaining on the internet. We're going to talk about Teju, Babyface, and a special guest. I'm just going to review this together with you. We're going to talk about Tiwa Savage. Of course, yeah. So we have a few stories to cover today. And of course, what we do here is extract life and relationship lessons from trendy topics. Shout out to you. You can download our books for free along as a bonus, along with a free consultation when you join our 21-day boot camp. It's only $87. You can see the link on the screen. Also in the description box is called www.manofprestige.com. Shout out all the sponsors. Our goal this month is what? $109. Okay, we're already at $72. Thank you so much for always supporting the platform with your like, your share, your money, all of that, your time. Thank you so much. Also, if you prefer Zelle, PayPal, Cash App, Super Chat, all that stuff is on the screen. There's a dollar sign inside of a little box. You click on that to allow you to super chat the show live, and then you can be a part of our sponsors. Thank you so much. Hit the like button, share, subscribe, turn up your notifications so you're notified when we go live. Without any further ado, let's get into the show. I will be right back.
Girl, it's your love that I've been missing. I miss all your hugs, your touching and kissing. Make love on the floor, the couch in the kitchen. One love enough, we done enough.
Welcome back. All right, so this first story I want to cover, as you can see on the screen, is a successful businessman complains about no sex after a girlfriend dumps him for cheating. So this gentleman, I'm going to be reading the text. It's quite a little messy on the internet, so I'm not going to mention his name. He's a small guy too in terms of clout, so it's not worth it to mention the name. But I saw this text public, so I figure we should just extract some lessons out of it, if you will. There's going to be some lessons, especially for men in this segment who might be going through this kind of situation. This situation is very rampant. Some people call it women weaponizing sex against men. Some people say he just has no game. I think for the most part it's a man who doesn't have any game, because basically when men get into marriage, they think there's no need for game anymore. They just kind of have these expectations that, hey, you signed up for a marriage, you should just be inside of a marriage. You used to throw the kwekus at me, you should just want to continue to throw the kwekus at me. And unfortunately, that's not the reality. In life, change is inevitable, change is constant, and sometimes that change is in the form of people's libido, in the form of people's interest, in the form of people's attraction level towards even their spouse that they once upon a time was in love with. They were heads over here once upon a time. It has nothing to do with oh, did you not answer the question? No, it's just inevitable. It's going to happen at some point. Why? Because life is always evolving. Life is changing right in front of our face. People's body will change. Life events happen, will affect how sexy they feel. But in this case, it's a little bit too early for us to be they were dating. Okay, well, they were boyfriend and girlfriends, sort of kind of like a permanent boyfriend and girlfriend. So I'm going to read the chat to you, and then if you want to borrow me some wisdom, feel free to put it in the chat. But at the end, I'm going to, some of them might be repetitive in nature. I'll read some comments, and then maybe we can learn one or two things from it. So he posted on his Instagram page, I'm not going to put the screenshot here. He said, imagine communicating with your partner about lack of sexual contact and nothing gets done. Ladies, this is very, very common. Okay, I'm saying a man complaining about this, or a man feeling this way, oftentimes they don't even talk about it, but the resentment is looming, is grooming. Yeah, so, and then he posted screenshots. I'm not going to post it again because his face shows on here. So it's one of the screenshots says, hurry back, we have had sex like little to none. Okay, this was I think the young lady was texting this back in March 2024, and then but by the time they got to December 2024, this is all last year, the gentleman was now sending text message. This is all by text. Gentlemen, don't send text message to complain about lack of sex. If you do that, it tends to get worse. I know you want me to hold her accountable right now, but my objective is to make sure you get sex. Not to hold a person accountable. Two different objectives, okay? If your objective is to hold accountable, all you have to do is send the text and problem solved. But if you want to, if you're in love, or okay, maybe you love your girl, but you really just want to have your intimate sessions with her and her only, then if that's the objective, then follow along. Okay, so by December he sent a text and said, and the fact we weren't having sex, and I said it was an issue, why didn't you do anything? Okay, now again, at this time I think they've broken up, and I'm not sure exactly what the timeline is, but I think they've broken up, and but he cheated, so I guess he's giving the excuse. Shout out to Uncle Beno, I see you, sir. I guess is cheated, and he's giving the excuse to why he cheated. So this is him complaining by text message to his girlfriend, who they're still trying to work something out, right? So he goes, we wasn't having sex like that. When I say we wasn't having sex like that, you can basically imagine who these people are, right? Anyway, he said, couldn't get you back to normal at home. I knew you were stressed and that you weren't probably feeling sexy. Okay, this is him sending. He's trying to be understanding in the text message, but it still wasn't working. Why? Because it's not what you say. It's not what you say. At the end of the day, it's the impact that your speech, your text messages leave on that person. I'm not saying it's your fault. I'm just saying you might want to learn one or two things about why this happens. So she replies after, again, from what I'm looking at, it looks like after 3 different text messages. So by 12/6/2024, that's 6th of December 2024, he sent that first text. And the fact that we weren't having sex and I said it was an issue, why didn't you do anything about it? It looks like there was no reply. It looks like by the 7th of December, he now sent, we wasn't having sex like that. And I tried to get you back to normal. I knew you were stressed and you weren't probably feeling sexy. All right. So is it his fault? No, it's not. Listen, Konji is a bastard. So it's not about blaming him. It's just about, if you're going through this kind of stuff, maybe you can learn one or two things, or maybe get some insights to why it wasn't working out. So she finally replied. And what she replied was, sex, money, marketing. You only talk, and then she sent another text. You only talk about sex and money. This is 2 texts that she sent. He sent 3 texts, okay? I want you to keep track of that, okay? It's very, very important. And then he continues. He said, and cried. We argued about it. We had long distance relationship, which was hard. Then we get together and our sex life didn't increase. After that, there was no reply. And then he sent another one, a longer text. He said, "You can't tell me last time you dressed up for me, baby. Sent me a sexy video. I bust my ass for you. I shout you to the world. And I feel like you felt entitled and didn't give same back." All right. Again, what was the objective? From his intentions, he's just trying to get his girl, right, to wake up and give him the kpekus. Basically, he's asking for the kpekus. Anyway, let's continue. He said, and then another text. Okay, this will be the third text in a row after that first two texts that she sent. Remember, the first two texts that she sent was sex, money, marketing. You only talk about sex and money. Okay, so she's complaining too, right? She obviously doesn't know what she's doing too, but hey, women are generally expected to not be sure of themselves. Somebody's going to be like, "What do you mean?" Hey, take that to the bank. Women are generally expected to not be sure of themselves. A man, oftentimes, these modern men are not sure of themselves too, but it just gets bad. As a man, a manly thing to do is to be sure of yourself, even if you have to fake it a little bit until you get results, and then it becomes second nature. Okay, let's keep going. And then she finally responds with a text. She said, "I never went weeks without sex." Okay, now is her words against his. Okay, no, before she sent that, he sent another third text before she sent this one text. So it's like 3-to-1 ratio, 3-to-1 ratio. What does that tell you? The person that's sending the most text is the neediest person. Does that make sense? The person that's sending the most text is obviously the person that's being needy. If we just go by that, okay? Then if you go by the length of each one of the texts that he's sending, and if you go by the fact that he's the one complaining and asking for the kpekus, it just gets even worse and worse and worse, right? Is she gonna feel sexier? Probably not, right? Is he still horny? Oh yes, if it's getting worse and worse and worse, and he's getting resentful too. Let me keep going. And then he goes, "Don't know what caused the sexual awkwardness between you and I. Something was clearly off, like we both love each other, but we saying that you weren't enough, like literally," mentions her name. I'm not going to mention the name. "You know we weren't having sex. Why are you doing this shit?" I literally have text messages where I'm talking about us not being intimate. Oh, he has the receipt, a VDM style receipt, where he was already complaining, basically proving to her that yes, I was a complainer, that I wasn't having sex, right? So now, again, this is not fair, right? Because after all, they're together, so they're supposed to be having sex. But at this point, it's basically doing shalaye to why he cheated. Oh, more this life is not fair. Man, they suffer. Machio. Man, they suffer. Okay. Let's keep going. Let me see here. Hi, Adebimpe, good to see you, Adebimpe. And Marriott, I see you guys. Good to see you guys. All right, so let's keep going. So it's basically saying he has receipts to when he was complaining, and she did nothing about it. Anyway, he said, "Why are you doing this shit? I literally have text messages where I'm talking about us not being intimate." And then now this is by this time we're in January 3rd, 2025. Remember, they have been having this talk since what? I think the last one was December 2024, 7th. This is like a whole month, almost a whole month later. Okay. Still complaining. We're still talking about giving excuses to why he cheated, not having sex. Anyway. And he sent another text. This is going to be third text in a row that he's sending. The girl has only sent 3 text messages thus far. It's been 1 month. There are 1, 2, 3. I'm just going by the screenshots he released. He released this because now at this point he's being vindictive. So he released these text messages to the public. Okay, so he's being vindictive. He said he's just going to throw it all out there. I mean, what are you thinking? Probably, there's a consistency in patterns here, right? Anyway, so 1, 2, 3, 4 text message from him, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so he sent 8 text messages. She sent one liner, 3 different text messages. So clearly one person is needy here, right? Okay, but maybe he's just apologizing. He's just trying to. But when you're apologizing and you're apologizing for cheating, but you're also telling them why you cheated, that's probably not going to work out well, right? Let's just imagine a normal human being. Let's put our expectations in check for a second. It's probably not going to work out. Another text message says, our only issue is sex. Like, let's be serious. You don't have hundreds of problems. You have one, our sexual awkwardness. Remember when people will say, well, I never beat you. I don't beat you. What else do you want from me? Like, if you have a husband that never beat you, why would you ever complain about the relationship? All right. So another text message from him comes, I ain't going. But my Ebonics, Jesus Christ. I don't have Ebonics, so let me struggle a little bit. Allow me. I ain't go out because I'm not going out because you were perfect. Okay, I didn't go out. I didn't go out of our relationship because you were perfect. I went out because I wasn't being sexually satisfied. Last year we had sex less than 20 times all year. Okay, remember they're not really married. Okay, they're just boyfriend and girlfriends. Maybe I think they were dating for 3 years or something like that. But imagine what happens inside of marriage. It gets worse. Somebody say, oh, why should I get married then? I don't know. Maybe you shouldn't get married if you don't know what you're doing. But anyway, he now said, advertised for you, promoted you everywhere, invest in your business, and I get bare minimum effort from you sexually. We have no kids. You don't cook. So what's the excuse? That's 11 text messages so far with only 3 text messages for her. Finally, she gave one more, a 4th text message. Remember, text messages are a no-no for any emotionally charged conversations, particularly in romantic relationships. They are a no-no. Text messages are for I love you, like for example, the last text my son said, my son is 6'1". Okay. Like things that, okay, oh yeah, we picked up the food. Oh yeah, can you please grab the pizza by the door? Things like that. That's what text messages are for. Text messages are not to complain about your relationship, about your partner. It's a no. It's a rule of thumb. Write this down, take it to the bank. What if I don't have a way to talk to them? You have to wait. Okay? And if you're going to send anything, there are ways to send text messages. Definitely, see, when you send text messages, you give people the right, you give them the freedom, you give them the permission to interpret it 2,000 other ways. Give it 2,000 other interpretations outside of your intentions. So basically, you are scattering everything. See, the human mind is a very powerful thing, right? They will basically assume the worst case scenario with your text messages. And if you haven't seen it yet, try it, you will see it. Anyway, she finally replied with one more text message. She goes, I have no complaints with sex and you ever. Wait. She's like, I don't complain about sex. The guy is complaining about sex, but she's like, I have no complaint about sex. All right, let's continue. She has no complaint about sex ever, she says. Okay. Anyway, that's all she said. And then he continues. He said, I was unhappy. My needs weren't being met. It's not a blame. See, this is unfair to men. Let me just be honest with you, okay? Let me say like this. It feels unfair to men, but it's more so the man doesn't know what he's doing, okay? Let me repeat that. Especially a man who doesn't know what he's doing, it will feel unfair to him, because he'll be basically competing. He said, hey, if I initiate 2 times, you should initiate 2 times, right? You see, this text message I'm looking at right now is fair because she sent 4 text messages and he sent about 15 thus far. That's fair. That's how it works, okay? But you have to understand what I'm talking about. You don't weight it based off of number of texts. You weight it based off of the impact. You see, she's interpreting everything he's saying, okay? But he's interpreting too, but he's pouring everything about, at the end of the day, in love and war, all is fair. Let me continue here. He said, my needs weren't being met. It's not a blame. I'm not used to getting sex. Now, he said it's not a blame. The question is that Does it change the fact that you feel like a blame to her because he said it's not a blame? I'll let you answer that question. I'm used to getting sex. I'm not saying it's your fault. Maybe it's just me and I'm not good for you. What do you think she's going to feel? Well, she's reading it. She's not replying a lot, right? Okay. And then he goes, okay, so I'm not the one for you. You don't feel safe, secure, sexy. To be fair, I don't know if there's been deleted text messages in between this. So I'm just going by what I see in terms of a VDM style receipts, okay? Anyway, I'm used to getting sex my entire life. Now I'm successful, take care of your needs, and jack off. Okay, that's a lot. Okay, so let me see here. Oh, my show. Konji is a bastard. Let me see. But your whole page gets sexy. Brianna, I just give it another name, right? Then I get pissed. You made no efforts to see me, to send me any sexy pictures, nothing. I do everything for you. I get nothing in return. You can keep posting shit online, but no send a single picture to me. Nothing to turn me on, but you feel sexy. Yet I get nothing, but it came from another girl. I would be wrong. Oh, if the sexy pictures came from another girl, he would be wrong. Remember, he cheated. So he's basically apologizing with all of these excuses. Okay, by now we have about 20 to 25 text messages. There's been 4 text messages from her so far. And she finally sent one more, making it 5 text messages. It's crazy how someone can take pieces of truth and twist them to serve a story that lets them feel like the victim. I honestly regret ever letting you that close, because the little you do know about me, you've weaponized. You used my resources, my platforms, my knowledge, ran campaigns, got exposed. Oh, wow. That's a lot, right? All right. He continues, say, cook, clean, don't pay back investments, give sex sparingly, and put more time into social media scrolling than taking care of me. These are facts. I did. Okay, all right. So there's some jumping there. He's talking about all the things he did. I understand him. I've been there before. You know how you feel like it's not fair and you want that person to reciprocate, but you can't see that, hey, they're not reciprocating because they're not feeling you. They don't want you, at least not in that moment. So instead of you to back off and allow them to want you, you're scared that maybe if you back off, they won't want you ever again. It's fear. But that fear will make you even do worse. And then this anxiety, you keep sending these text messages, is essentially expressing this neediness over and over and over again. It just gets worse. And then he goes, eventually, he said, you're very sexy and the best lover. No, she goes. He goes, I guess she's trying to justify. You know, after all of this, at some point, a lady will get to a point she starts to feel guilty. If she likes you at all, she feels, even if sometimes when she doesn't like you, if she's scared of the unknown, the future, she doesn't know where she's going. You know, the grass always seems greener on the other side, right? But she's not sure where she's going, right? And then she's, you know, she gets to a point, she feels a little bit of guilty. She feels like, yes, you have given me your time, but really she's not, she doesn't like you, right? But maybe, but not really. Well, that's a woman, right? Oftentimes, she's not sure of herself, especially if you don't know what you're doing and you don't know how to make her feel safe and secure. She's definitely not going to be sure of herself. And she doesn't carry the seeds. So she's going to multiply all the basketballs that you bring to her, but in somewhat of a different way. It's not going to look like a bunch of text messages. She might just run into a corner somewhere and start crying and start getting scared and all this kind of stuff. Anyway, all the trauma I have with sex and you, she's talking to him now, like a 7th text message now. Also, as grown men, I want to have sex and would love to do it with you as the woman I love. I'm not getting that, because that's how I said. My little lace thing I wore in NYC was sexy. Okay, and then he goes, I ain't saying nothing to say sexy, but go off. You don't think I'm sexy? And then he goes, but your whole page gets sexy, Brianna. Then I get pissed. You made no efforts to see me, to send me. Okay, all right. Basically, the whole point of this is complain. And then he continues. He said, take my money, get booked for hotels and flights, but draw line at sex. Basically, they go on trips, they stay in a hotel room, and nothing, crickets. She doesn't want to give it up. Motherfucker get money from me every week, but want to draw line on sex. You know how I was feeling a lot of times. All you say is you love having sex with me, but didn't change anything. Now, for 2 months, I've been telling you that again, and same result. I told you that you weren't intimate with me. By the way, that was 5 different text messages. So we're about 30, 35 now. You weren't intimate with me. You only wanted baby. Only time you approached me for sex was when you were ovulating. Oh, that's so sad. She wanted to have a baby. And then she goes, you are very sexy. And then she's replied. Anyway, in all of this, I'm going to read a couple of replies. All right. Baba, problem na sex. Yes, sir. It's real. But let me read some of the replies from the Instagram post directly. Where he posted this as a caption to this post. He said, all the people mad cause I cheated, but no one cares how many times I complained about lack of sex and living long distance. I express myself and go unheard. But then when I take care of my own needs, now I'm worst person ever. Somebody said, now, what are we supposed to do with this information? This isn't making her look bad. It's actually proving her point. All right. Now, to be fair to him, at some point, he traveled unannounced to go and see this lady, and the lady basically called the cops or initiated some kind of a restraining order. There's a lot more going on in that story. I'm not going to get into it. I just want to focus on this sexual attraction of a thing is real for a lot of people, and they often don't know what to do. They do the natural thing to do for a lot of people is to overreact. A lot of men, they just overreact off of the kanji. What's the English for kanji? So somebody help me. The blue balls, yeah, off of the blue ball. They just naturally overreact from the blue ball, and it just gets worse and worse and worse. And really, all you need to do is just back off for a little while, okay? But the earlier you do that, the better. The later you do it, the more it's not going to work, because again, you would have sown all these seeds of resentment. She would have multiplied it, and she will resent you back 1,000 times more. And especially if you've cheated, then she can't trust you anymore. It just gets worse. All right. And it's even more so true if we're talking about a marriage. Okay. I don't see much difference between dating, marriage, relationship, talking stage. I don't see much different. How the romantic energy, the attraction energy is exactly what it is. It goes ups and down. And the more you don't know what to do, the worse it gets. Anyway, she wasn't your wife. She didn't owe you her body. Somebody said you should have just left and had all the women you wanted that were willing to lay down with you. I pray you find the closure you're looking for. Only God can bring peace to your life. Anyway, that person is saying that. Somebody else said, how one messages and your paragraphs is giving, she wasn't really interested. She reaped the benefits, what she was doing for her. You basically putting your heart out, and she's ignoring what you are saying. Here's what I'm going to say real quick about that before I move on to some other stories. All right, I hope this really helps someone out there, especially my brothers, right? I don't know the full story, to be fair. I don't know the full context. There's more to any story we can read in the form of text messages. And that's the more reason why you shouldn't do text messages. Okay, text messages are basically sugar-coated nonsense, basically used to manipulate other people. Okay, the person that's doing most of the text messages is the one that's manipulative the most. That's the way it works. Okay, so but what I can say about this is that if you notice or you're experiencing low attraction, back off. Take some time off. Okay, and if you're going to offer anything, make sure you study enough to understand what value would mean to that person and offer value. Okay, but you cannot offer value until you study long enough to see what value will mean to that person. The first step to offering value to that person is space. Clearly, that person doesn't want you. I know it sounds harsh, but the reality is that sometimes you go through even inside of marriage and the person doesn't want you, but it's just a momentary thing. Your brain will multiply it beyond control, blow it out of proportion. It will make you feel like nobody ever wants you in this life. They never really wanted you, but if you really think deeper, it is not true. It is just that moment. It is true in that moment. Acknowledge it in that moment, and they need some space. Give them some space. take some time off. So are you going to come back with value? I don't know, but how are you going to know if you don't take the time off first, right? If you don't take the time off, you're going to create more damages than you can handle. That's as simple as I can keep that for now. If you're experiencing this kind of stuff, some people might say, oh, maybe you should come buy a flower. Calm down, okay? The biggest sex organ is the brain, okay? And that's where attraction starts from. Anything else you're going to do to start from that first before you start buying Amazons. Hit the like button, guys. Share, subscribe, turn up your notifications so you're notified when we go live. I'll be right back.
Girl, it's your love that I've been missing. I miss all your hugs, your touching and kissing. Make love on the floor, the couch in the kitchen. One love enough, we done enough.
All right, welcome back. I'm just going to refresh this real quick and I'll be right back. Yes, welcome back. All right, so let's go. Do you guys know who Teju Babyface is? This is Teju Babyface right here. It was a comedian. I think it was a comedian. He's a talk show host. It's one of the legendary talk show hosts by now. But he has a video up here. I'm watching it for the first time with you guys. I'm gonna play it and then we'll talk. All I saw is that is marriage. I see the caption say, is marriage even worth it anymore? The real reason behind marriage struggles. And apparently he has a guest called Soji Olayinka who breaks it down for us, and let's hear what they have to say.
Given the way the world is going, really, is marriage really worth it anymore? There just seems to be so much stress and pressure. Do we still need marriages, really? Because people used to get married for kids. But I think there is more harm done kids now in a lot of marriages than good. It seems that all the usual old arguments for marriage, they are now...
My internet is definitely acting up. Let me see if I can get it to play here. Hold on one second, guys. Oh, I think my internet is hanging, guys. Let me see if I can wait a little bit. It's a struggle. Let's see. Okay, I should be back now. Let's try this.
The way the world is going, really, is marriage really worth it anymore? There just seems to be so much stress and pressure. Do we still need marriages, really? Because people used to get married for kids. But I think there is more harm done kids now in a lot of marriages than good. It seems that all the usual old arguments for marriage, they are now paling. They are now failing in the face of other things. Please tell me, is marriage still worth it?
But one thing I want to say is this. The truth is this. Marriage itself is not the problem. The problem is about those who live in that marriage. God created marriage. It's good. Now, if you look at the template, it's actually a beautiful thing. You, as a man, you have a woman that you love, that you feel for everything about you revolves around her, and vice versa. You are in a unit. And you're just living your life beautifully well. There's nothing wrong with that. That's a good thing. You're at home, your wife comes back. You come back from work, you meet your wife and your children, she cooks for you, you have sex. But the people in that marriage, they are the ones who don't understand each other. Their temperaments are different. They are fighting every day. They now make that marriage look difficult. It's a beautiful house, painted, well lit. Now, both of you decide to live in that house. Now, because you now begin to fight in that house, to shout on each other, to cheat on each other, does that make that house ugly? Does it make the house complicated? No.
I like that.
You are the ones that are complicating your lives. The house itself is beautiful. If other people live in that house, they can enjoy it. So, why is marriage complicated? We are the ones, the people inside. Marriage is not. Do you understand what I'm saying? So marriage is not complicated. Are we not complicated? We are human beings. So it's a human issue. It's not marriage issue. It's a human issue. And that's how I see it.
I just want to know, given the way the world
All right, that was some good points in that. Let me see here. There's a second video. Let's see if we can get something out of it too.
how true is this trend that as we go along, women are now getting more and more involved in extracurricular activities? Those chains that used to hold women, those traditional, cultural, or even religious chains, they have now been losing to the extent that women now are now having. How often do you encounter that?
So I get a lot of DMs from my videos. If I do a video and it's relatable to certain folks, they send me a DM to tell me their issues. And then I give them my phone number, and then I schedule sessions with them. A woman who lives in Germany sends me a message. I cheated on my husband and he found out. I don't want to lose my marriage. Please, I need help. That was the message she sent. And so, of course, as usual, I give her my WhatsApp number, do a voice note, tell me the issue, introduce yourself, tell me the issue, and then I will now schedule a session. So what she did, and she said, the whole story was there, that she and her husband had been fighting, quarreling all the time. She had not really enjoyed
The marriage.
the marriage. And then every night she will cry because of one.
Come on now. Come on now. All right. So let's hang it right there. Okay, let's hang it right there. My internet I'm struggle streaming, so I don't know what's going on in Utah, but I'm definitely struggle streaming. Typically, I can work with something. Let's what we got here. We have more than enough. I like the first point he made, that marriage is not the problem. I say that here all the time. If you are trash people and you go and do marriage, you will end up with a trash marriage. This is just reality. Now, some people might say, they might get stuck on the semantic of that. They might say, no, but marriage is a problem. Or marriage is complicated. Some people say marriage is hard work. I said it's not hard work. Working on yourself is hard. Self-accountability is hard. They said, well, that makes marriage okay. All right, I agree. It's not about the semantics. I just want you to get some understanding. I want you to dig a little bit deeper. Okay? Let me see if I can get it to play. I don't know if it will play, but anyway, you need to dig a little bit deeper. And usually the reason why I like this guy, actually, I find out more about him. Let me see if I can follow him. The reason why we're trying to get people to gravitate away from thinking about the marriage as a problem is because people use that as the excuse to not work on themselves, right? They use it to make a hasty conclusion that marriage is just no longer working. Well, lack of self-accountability will make you struggle in life. It's always been that way. That one is timeless. You see, when you identify the problem as a timeless problem, it's a little bit easier to solve the problem. When you make the problem about the times that we live in, it makes it that much harder to... His name is Soji Olayinka, if you want to go follow him. I'll see if I can tag him later on. Right? It makes it that much harder. So if I say things a certain way, people tend to want to come and argue with the way I said it. The way I said it is deliberate. There's an objective to why I said it the way I said it. So if I tell you that marriage is not the problem, you are the problem, you should ask me, why did that say it that way? You acknowledge that you see it that way, and then we'll go back and forth, and you might still settle for the way you say it. As long as you get some other understanding, some other perspectives, right? So that you can come up with your own solution. Because at the end of the day, I can't tell you what to do. I can only shed light on some other perspective to what you're going through. Okay? So some things are inevitable. Some things don't change. The result you are creating, you can see right there in front of you. It's either you're happy or you're not happy with it. Okay? I don't get to determine that. So it's not a matter of opinion. If you say you are happy, I will agree with it instantly. Right? We're on the same page.
You're right.
But if you say, no, something Oshikudiakato, it remains small, it's not there, it's not what you like, guess what? That's your reality. I will have to agree with you too, right? But at that point, it's easier for me to work with you to navigate to the solution. So as you can see, I'm looking at some of the comments here right now. Somebody said, in our life, they make marriage complicated, sometimes from what some couples share. But he gave a very, very good analogy. He said, if a house is beautiful, the house is beautiful. If you go inside the house, you live inside of it, and then you're fighting each other, you can't turn around and say the house is ugly. Marriage is the same thing. Okay? Marriage is the same thing. It's either you know how to make that house a home or you don't. Right? So it's very important to not call the house ugly, because we don't want to be fixing the house. We want to fix the source of the problem. It's very important to say it that way if the objective is to get to a solution. If the objective is for you to be right, which is what most people entangle themselves in, they just want to be right, which is why they get into stupid arguments with each other. If the objective is to be right, you're right. You're already right. We don't need to argue back and forth about that. You're right.
You're right.
Somebody said, somebody still want to argue. Funny enough, it's always some kind of Folashade. No offense to the Folashades. They are very argumentative from what I've seen. I'm generalizing. Please forgive me, Folashades. Okay? Folashade said, I believe marriage is complicated, but only good and committed partners can handle it. You see? They need to blame it on something else but self. It is the other partner who is not good and committed. It is always that way. There's nothing in you. Remember, I told you, the one thing that is very, very hard in all of this is self-accountability. It is very hard. It's easier said than done. It's like looking at yourself and just blaming yourself for something you didn't do. So I understand why it seems complicated. There are some things in marriage you may not be able to explain or give reasons to. See how we just blame that on not knowing. We don't know, we will never know. There's nothing else to know. There's no books, there's no manual. There's nothing there to know. Let's just conclude that this thing is difficult. Let's make a conclusion and live in our misery. I hope you're paying attention. But with determination, both partners still see, they're always saying both. You know why they're saying both? Because they think it will be easier if we just make both come together. This is why people say it takes two to tango. Just make both come simultaneous together and work together. And that's the only way it can work. You're lying to yourself. You didn't do it like that in the beginning. It's not going to happen like that. Today, you're the one complaining. You need to do some self-work. Before we worry about the other person's responsibility, you need to be the person that deserves better first. At least we need to make sure of it. That's the way it works. So if it takes two to tango, it takes one person to start the dance in the direction that they want. You take self-accountability. If that sounds like victim shaming, you're right. That's something you said to yourself. I don't think it is, but that's something you said to yourself. Because if you like where you are, I like it too. I like it for you. Somebody said, no two marriages are the same. These are things we say to ourselves to make ourselves feel better. No two marriages are the same. There is no blueprint of expectations. This, however, does not say marriage is not worth it. That's exactly what you said. You're just trying to backtrack. You might as well just say you don't belong in marriage, and that will be also fine too. You would be right.
You're right.
It is very interesting and worthwhile. You're wrong. That statement right there, in fact, I'll leave it right there. It is absolutely wrong. Mr. Soji Olayinka is correct. There are formulas that tend to work. There are principles that work across the board. How we apply it obviously will be different from people to people, stories to story, is case by case. But to sit around the internet and tell yourself that there's no manual, there's no blueprint, yeah, these are things that keeps you in misery. With that being said, let's keep it moving. I have some other stories around the world. Hit like button, share, subscribe, turn up your notifications. I will be right back.
Girl, it's your love that I've been missing. I miss all your hugs, your touching and kissing. Me love on the floor, the couch in the kitchen. One love enough, We don't know.
All right, guys, welcome back. Let's talk about Tiwa Savage. Tiwa Savage opens up secret celebrity romance revealed. I don't know what she's talking about, but let's review it together. Maybe we can learn one or two things. Shall we? Let's have it. Let me see here. There you go.
Girl.
No,
That's what I was.
She got pregnant.
You knew the girl.
No,
That's what I was.
She got pregnant.
No, it's a disrespect. Like you know, like I'm a public figure.
Uh-oh. Let's try this one again.
The girl.
No,
That's what I was.
She got pregnant.
No, it's a disrespect. Like you know, like I'm a public figure.
Oh my god. We need to get the full statement out. Oh my god. Come on, Tiwa. The internet struggle streaming. I haven't had this experience. I've been here for over a week. Let's see if we can have it. Let's see.
No,
That's what I was.
She got pregnant.
No, it's a disrespect. Like you know, like I'm a public figure.
Frozen again. Oh, problem. Okay, let me see if I can capture the actual statement. All right, let's use Instablog Niger. Thank God. Hallelujah. Anyway, so according to this post on Instablog Niger, I'm sure they will capture the whole thing. All right, so let's see. I'm a public figure. Bito Paris in your Uncle Bendo. She's talking about, people are speculating that she's talking about Wizkid. I doubt it, but what do I know? Anyway, according to this report, it says singer Tiwa Savage opens up on her secret romance with a celebrity that drained her emotionally. Nigerian music star Tiwa Savage has revealed details about a past relationship with a fellow celebrity, describing it as disrespectful and emotionally draining. Speaking candidly, let me see. No, it didn't work. Oh, he never worked. Speaking candidly, Tiwa said her partner insisted their relationship remain private because he didn't want the public to know. According to her, he would often justify his actions by saying he needed to walk the room whenever they attended events together. He told me he didn't want us to go public. He said, when we were out, I might be talking to other people, but I'm only doing it so people don't suspect. Question is, suspect what? And I was like, okay, but how far are you going with this? Tiwa recounted. The singer admitted that even though she understood the explanation, watching him openly mingle with others in her presence left her feeling disrespected and silenced. And I quote, he had it good. We might be at the same event and he's probably talking, laughing, even touching other ladies while still looking at me like, don't worry, I'm just doing it. And I couldn't say anything. It was happening right in front of me, she added. All right, so let's talk about this one, right, real quick. You see, ladies and gentlemen, actually to both sides, because this happens to some men. I was listening to a story like yesterday on TikTok, and this gentleman was going back and forth. We were talking about the viral video, the proposal, right? The skit proposal that went left, that they are still been trying to extend the virality up to now. Everybody's still arguing about that viral video till now, right now. So my opinion is that young man did not know what he was doing. It's not the first time he would do that. Also, the young lady, it's not the first time they will get into such argument. They just don't know what they're doing. But I put the blame on the man, because a man needs to be sure of himself. If you want to play alpha male, just be consistent, okay? So that people's daughters can avoid you in peace, okay? But to everyone, so a young man decided to tell his story. He was like, all these women, no husband, there's no husband anywhere. Once they start to say there's no husband anywhere, I know where they're going. Okay, they're just trying to say, hey, I'm a husband, there's no other husband anywhere. It's basically, excuse me guys, it's It's cap.
Stop the cap.
It's cap. They're talking about themselves. They're struggling with attracting the kind of lady they want. That's but the way they justify and make themselves feel good, it's like saying it takes two to tango because you don't want to do the work on yourself. It's the same thing. Okay. So this gentleman kept going back and forth, and then they asked him and said he was started to talk about this young lady in Nigeria that he had been dating for 7 years, but she doesn't want to work. But he spent a lot of money on her every month or so. He lives in Germany, somewhere in the Europe. So they now ask her, I said, how long have you known this lady? Well, they've been dating for 7 years. How long have you been in Europe? 8 years. Oh, wait. Did somebody introduce you to this lady? They said, yes. But so how come you haven't married this lady? Because, she wants to live in GRA. She's collecting money and all this. Basically, from all the rhetoric, it looks like he's getting played. So we have to tell him that he's getting played. A lot of people are getting played. And there's some obvious, small signs. It's not the deep signs. You don't need to look around too much for big red flags. Something as simple as somebody is not willing to show you off to the public. I mean, I don't know what you want me to tell you. I know they're celebrities. I know there's a valid reason. Listen, they will give you valid reason. It's like when people look around, I always say when you look around, you will find enough valid excuses to point fingers at. Right? But the one main thing that is in control of all of this, you tend to skip it. That's you. The one main entity who can actually change the reality, the circumstances, you tend not to pay attention to. Is everything, is the rain, is the sunshine, it is the fault of the weather, it is because of racism, it's because of tribalism. Listen, all these things are valid and they are real. But if you're not very careful, you'll get stuck in that situation for a long time. So how do you change it? Self-accountability, which is not equal to self-blame or guilt or fault. So why am I bringing that into this Tiwa Savage story, right? You see, somebody tells you straight up to your face that they want to mingle with other people. The reason is probably valid. He's probably a fine boy in the industry and he needs to sell market. And let him go and sell market and then come back later, okay? See, if you come back 7 years later, right, and you now start to tell a story of disrespect, I can even sympathize with you, but it's not going to change anything, though. The only one thing that can change everything is when you hold yourself accountable and said, I should have seen that. There is no, we can't go public. You can go public. If they want you bad enough, they will break all the rules. Is what I'm trying to say here. So those are real rules, but they will break the rules if they like you, if they want you enough. And sometimes they don't know if they want you enough until you set those boundaries, until you set that standard. Sometimes they don't know that they actually want you enough. That's why I encourage people. I said, if you want to walk away from a situation, walk away and mean it. Sometimes people don't see your value until you are able to do that. Sometimes the walking away is just taking a step back and, gentlemen, go downstairs, go into your man cave, give them some space so they know you're not needy. So today, right now, there's a theme of neediness that we're talking about. Don't be the needy one. And that's a good thing. That means you're able to give them the value of space if they need it. Cut him loose. He wants to sell market. Let him go and sell market. If you're still available and you still want the person, but at least you won't be blocking the doors for your blessings to come in. Because sometimes if you don't close one door, another one will not open. People will use, the grass is not green on the other side. It is true, but they can use it to manipulate you too. And sometimes you just have to be decisive, even though that decision can burn you too. But sometimes you have to be decisive. So, and that's what she's saying here. Is like, so after a while, she now finally, he was disrespectful. No, he was being himself. He saw you were readily available, and then he took you for granted. This is the way Okubere market sellers. Yes, this is the way it works. It's not somebody's trying to evil. There's somebody being evil. Yeah, leave that one, put that one aside. Stop asking people to give you power. Take your power. Stop asking people to give you power. Take your power. Actually, power is never given. Power has to be taken. Okay, so don't be. Tiwa Savage is now 40 something and she's telling the stories. She's telling that story so you can learn. Okay, somebody want to be touching, feeling, and all that kind of people. It's okay. Let them touch and go and feel, but don't hold yourself hostage in that situation. Do me a favor, hit the like button, share, subscribe, turn up your notifications so you are notified. Join the conversation in the comment. However, I'll be right back. I think we have something else to talk about. I'll be right back.
Girl, it's your love that I've been missing. I miss all your hugs, your touching and kissing. Make love on the floor, the couch in the kitchen. One love enough, we done enough.
All right, this one is a small one. I hope we can play the video because today is just a struggle. This is about Jerry Eze. You guys know who Jerry Eze is. Jerry Eze is the #1 YouTube earner in Nigeria. Last time we checked, is also a pastor. I stumbled into Jerry Eze. Well, the first person I stumbled into was the wife, Eno Eze, I think. But they are probably the most popular, from online standpoint, they're the most popular pastors out of Nigeria right now. Jerry Uchechukwu Eze, a Nigerian Pentecostal pastor, founder and lead pastor of Streams of Joy International. But what we probably know him as is the WSSD. What is it? What God cannot do cannot exist, something like that. He's very popular, does like online prayer sessions on the internet, thousands upon thousands of views on a regular basis. Okay, so he hosts 2025's largest gathering of Christians in the UK. Not too long, that was about 2 weeks ago. Okay, and yes, about 5 days ago, it was announced by Premium Times, as published by Premium Times. Pastor Eze is Nigeria's highest paid YouTuber for 2nd year in a row. Shout out to him, congratulations to him. I ain't mad. That's what we're trying to do right now. We're struggle streaming. We have 5 people watching us live. I want to say thank you to all the 5 people watching me live right now, and shout out to all the people that make it to watch replays later, all the replay gang. I appreciate you. You keep this channel going. Thank you. I appreciate you. Yes, NSPPD. Thank you, Jerry. NSPPD is the convener of NSPPD. Okay, a lot of Nigerians go there to pray. When I see people giving this kind of platform, I appreciate it because obviously he's bringing some kind of value into that society, regardless of if it's religious or not. I don't care. If it's value, is value. It is what it is. If you want something better, talk to your government. All right. So, but why am I talking about him today? It's because of this video. Let me see if I can play it. This video on Tunde Ednuts. I'm watching it with you guys live. Let's see what he said.
Love until it has been wronged and yet it's still loved. For you to open your mouth and still say to your spouse, I love.
For you to open your mouth and still say to your spouse. Let me go back. It says love is not love until it is wronged and still loves. Okay, let's see.
Play. Love you in the midst of wrong doing. That is when you have loved. That is when you truly.
For you to experience love in the midst of wrong, that's when you have love. Okay,
you love that person, because what you call love is actually an emotional outburst when you do something that is not right. And
what you call love is an emotional outburst, but when you do something that is not right,
yet I can still say I love you and I'm going to do this, and
I can still say I love you. Okay,
please, let's not make our marriages a union of 2 persons who are sharing a flat. Let it be more than that. But
let's not make our marriages something of 2 persons sharing a flat.
By all means, let's never bring our marriages to this place. But I beg of you, forgive. I was having a conversation with a gentleman. He says, forgiveness is just not in my nature. I said, what if I tell you that there's no such thing as a marriage without forgiveness? He just do para back and forth. I was like, you're a lover boy. That's your problem. You're trying to protect yourself. This is the same conversation I've been having around with all these young men. They're trying to protect themselves so badly, but this castle they are building around themselves is caving in badly. The same thing is true for you too, ladies, just so you know. Anyway, roommates. A lot of people in long-term marriages are roommates. So, and when there's problem, when there's the outburst, they tend to run to the internet and tell these generalized stories. They assume everybody else's story is just like theirs. And of course, anything that's negative and painful in nature tends to go more viral.
So you have to protect yourself from that, the negative narratives.
And all I want you to know, forgive. Not just forgive for your spouse, forgive for yourself. Clear your
That's the point. I like that point. He said, forgive, but forgive yourself. You in marriage, you have to be willing to move past issues fast. Doesn't mean you're brushing it under the rug, but a lot of time people are resenting issues that just need to go away. What do they call it? They call it closure. If I don't have closure, nobody go rest. They don't say it out in words, but that's essentially what they are practicing. They need closure. What is the closure they are looking for? They are becoming detectives in their own household. They are snooping around looking for everything that can be wrong. But if your mind already perceived wrong, guess what? It is already wrong. Yes, of course, you're going to perpetuate it. So even if you found nothing, it is all wrong. And that becomes your experience. But guess what? Because you're looking for wrong, you're going to find something that's wrong. But he's saying a lot of stuff you should take to the bank. Forgive yourself. I know some people use forgiveness to manipulate other people. They want you to forgive as fast. But don't worry about that. Let's talk about you as an individual first. Forgive yourself. Forgive yourself doesn't mean you're not accountable. It means you're accountable and then you get past it. Even though the other person is still in the process of getting past it too. But you have to get past it. And when they see that you're confident, it not only does it change, it helps you in your change of behavior, because the best form of apology is change of behavior, right? So it helps you to change your behavior faster. But if you're stuck in the misery, if you are needy and you're begging, you're apologizing over and over again, you actually, even though your intentions might be different, the impact you are creating is wrong. You need to understand how the mind works. The mind is not your semantics. The mind focuses on what you focus on. And it expands.
mind. You are here to live for a long time. Don't let anybody kill you. That's why I'm saying free your heart. Be happy.
Free your heart.
Find something that will make your heart happy. Free your mind. If anybody wants to carry something in mind, let them carry it.
Let them carry it. I know it sounds vicious, even if you've offended them. Sometimes the issue they're dealing with is beyond you. Sometimes it's trauma from their childhood. Yes, the last trigger was you. You offended them. Remember, I'm not asking you not to be accountable. What I'm asking you to do is learn how to not be looking for answers for everything. You do your own bit, right? And you leave the rest. Let them get through the process so that you can get through your own process, so that by the time they come back to you, you actually have something to offer. Okay? And also the ground is fertile enough for them to also pour into you. But you know what most people do? They get stuck in this cycle, endless cycle, talking about the same thing over and over again. 5 years ikojalo, 6 years ikojalo, 7 years ikojalo, 13 years ikojalo, 17 years has gone past. She's talking about the same issue. The power is yours, but you're disengaged from your power.
But if they give you food, relax, drink water, laugh, eat the food. You brought that money. And so if they cook the food and give you, eat. Love is not yet love. Well, if they are not talking to you, be talking to them. That's why I'm saying you can't give someone you love hypertension. You can't. It's not fair. Because there's some people, when they remember they are going home.
All right, so he's talking about fairness now. I'm just going to leave it at that for now. Okay, guys, that's Jerry Eze. I think he has some good messages, but he's a pastor. At the end of the day, there's only so much we can relate. But I think that's a good message. I think love is not love until you've gone through something, until it is tested. Okay, see, when we say something is real love, it's not the fantasy butterflies in your stomach when you don't really know the person. You're going to need to get to know that person, and you're going to go through some shit. And after you're going through that shit, you'll be in a position to say, I still love this person. I still want to build something together. But it makes it that much better. Okay? It's not the same thing as a person that they don't really know each other. If they just got married yesterday, congratulations to them. Yee, hallelujah. I know they went through 3 years of premarital counseling. They don't know anything though. Just wait for it. But that's a good thing. That's life. That's life. Anything that's worthwhile in life will be tested. It's inevitable. Okay, yes, it's going to take a leap of faith. You're gonna have to jump out. Okay, you have to jump off that cliff at some point. It's not about marriage, it's just how life works. It's anything that you've ever done in life that's worthwhile, that other people celebrate, that you celebrate. At some point you made a move of faith. All right, but it's actually easier to make a move of faith with education. If you educate yourself, if you surround yourself with the right type of people, okay, the vibes around you, the kind of people you surround yourself. If you surround yourself with people that are always talking, you end up in a buzz in the internet where they're always talking negative about marriage, you will get exactly what you deserve. With that being said, hit like, share, subscribe, turn up your notifications so you're notified when we go live. Oh, by the way, Auntie B is doing pre-launch of our books. She's doing pre-launch of our book, Imported Wives. It's on Amazon, it's everywhere. Go search for it. Search for Imported Wives, Bree Ekpo, EKPO, BREE Go and order the book, leave a review, take a picture with the book. She's in pre-launch. When you get the book, take a picture with the book, send her a picture or send it to me. Okay, send it to my DM. I'll forward it to her so that she can use the book. We need your support in getting the book out there. Okay, thank you guys. Be a part of the community. I appreciate you guys for everything you do, for always supporting the platform. Hit like, share, subscribe, turn up your notifications. If you're looking for my books, just go to manofprestige.com. You're looking for the bootcamp, 21-day bootcamp. You can start right now. Go to manofprestige.com. It comes with a free consultation with me. All right, hopefully you've been enlightened, educated. We'll see you on the next one. Take care and God bless. Peace.
Girl, it's your love that I've been missing. I miss all your hugs, your touching and kissing. Make love on the floor, the couch in the kitchen. One love enough, we done enough.